I'm Daily Journal crime reporter Danza Johnson, here with Lee County Sheriff Jim Johnson to talk about internet safety. Sheriff, we've been talking about internet sex predators and things like that, people targeting underage children for sexual purposes over the internet. When is that line actually crossed where these guys are committing a crime? I know that as soon as they start talking to these underage people, they're not committing a crime. When is that line stepped across?
Well, you know, as you said, Danza, the actual conversation with an adult and a child is not when the law is broken. The actual crime is committed whenever they explicitly ask for sexual favors, is one way. If they send any type of pornographic photograph of themselves or someone over the internet, or they ask for one, which would be, you know, one way. But as far as the generalized conversation, there's not anything wrong. However, that a lot of times is how that is, the trust is built up. You know, they won't go right into breaking the law right off the bat, and so you have to be very careful about them building that trust relationship up by talking about things that have not broken the law, and then they'll very gradually ease into it.
So, what about asking to meet? I mean, even if they hadn't done any of this explicit talk or asked for sexual favors or sent photos or received photos, what about them meeting some of these underage girls and they haven't expressed anything about any sexual activity or anything like that? Does that constitute a crime?
No, absolutely not. You know, you can. There has to absolutely be no doubt in the conversation that the intent is for sexual favors. It has to be mentioned in the chat, through the text messaging or through the computer or something or other. You know, just to say, hey, how are you doing? Would you like to meet me? Or can I come over to your house or something? That is not, you know, unfortunately it's not breaking the law because, you know, there has not been any constitution as far as the law has been broken.
Okay. So, like I said, meeting is not breaking the law. What about, so before the meeting actually occurs, when they first started this sexually explicit talk,
Mm-hmm.
the crime is committed. It has
That's right.
nothing to do with the meeting.
That's right. The meeting had nothing to do as far as the law being broken. Once these individuals contact these kids, once this individual does break the law as far as sexual conversation or sending pictures over the internet, you could actually go make the arrest then. The purpose of the meeting is to put a face with whoever it is that they're talking to. It prevents me from getting on your computer and committing this illegal act and you getting credit for it when it was actually me. So that's the whole purpose of the meeting. And as far as law enforcement are concerned, most of these individuals we're dealing with are from far off.
Mm-hmm.
And it's easier to get them to drive to me than it is for me to go find them.
Okay.
And so the meeting does not have anything to do with the crime.
What if one of these guys are conversating with someone and they're having one of these sexually explicit internet conversations and the girl says, by the way, I'm 14, and they cut it off and just stop? Has a crime been committed then if they were unaware that she was underage?
That's a good question. No. You have to prove beyond a shadow of a doubt that this individual knew that they were talking to an underage child. There would also be a fairly good defense if this child lies to this individual and tells them that they are older than what they are. You know, if they pull up their profile and it shows that they're 18 years of age and it shows that they are carrying on a conversation as an 18-year-old and there's no messaging one bit whatsoever that there is any reason for this suspect to believe that they're anything but 18, and they turn out to be younger, then you know, it's going to be a very hard case to prosecute. That's why we very much so tell these individuals that are putting these profiles, these victims and all, to make sure that they're open and honest up front, that they don't try to attract older men by lying about their age, because there's not going to be a crime committed.
And there are younger girls that are interested in older guys. What about the younger girls soliciting some of these older guys?
Yeah, you know, unfortunately, the older guy is going to be the one that gets in trouble. You know,
It's up to him to protect himself.
That's right.
As well.
In the eyes of the law, they're gonna protect that victim. And for a younger child to solicit or try to seduce or entrap an older individual, there's not a, there's not a crime against it.
Okay. We'd like to thank Sheriff Johnson and thank you for tuning in.